There are pains we gotta follow, there are pains we cannot run when we're looking down the barrel of a gun. It is not about surviving, either living or you're dying. Stand your ground and never ever be afraid, 'cause we are one. 'Cause we are one. So break your chains, take your ground, make some noise and get around, 'cause we are one. Yeah, we are one. We stand united. Whoa, whoa. United, together rise and fall, 'cause it's all for one, one for all. Yeah, it's all for one. And we will stand our ground.
Hello and welcome back to DreamHack Showdown Winter. A few grins here and there. Couldn't for the life of me think of why. But we're going to be getting into what will be our final match of the day. And I am joined by potentially the most biased desk we will ever have in Counter-Strike. We've got Potter and Miss Harvey, both ex-CLG, ready to analyze CLG. You ready for this one?
Yeah, I think we're both super go CLG, but also probably the most critical when it comes to little mistakes that they shouldn't be doing. So it's a double-edged sword. I hope that they show up. But, you know, yeah, CLG red at heart for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna hide it. I'm all on board. I think CLG Red are gonna completely destroy Violent Roses, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for little Diane. Yesterday, I said Vilgo was my favorite teammate of the past. Diane's just my favorite human being altogether of the past. She's blossomed into this great in-game leader. Her AWP is hitting on all cylinders. Don't interrupt me, Tom, when I'm talking about Diane. She deserves all the red carpet praise that I'm about to give her, because these ladies are popping off, man. The first female team to make it in advance, re-qualifying again after getting knocked down. These ladies have impressed me since I put my mouse up on the court, and yeah, I'm ready to see them destroy.
So we're going to get into the bit where we talk about CLG a little bit later on. For now, we're going to get into our bracket, which will show what has happened so far. Of course, we did have a default a little bit early on, Miss Harvey. Other than that, the main one is the big upset that we saw in match number 1.
Yeah, this bracket in NA seems a lot closer than what we've seen in EU so far. Violet Roses CLG versus CLG Red in upper bracket final, while on the lower bracket side, we have Cyberstorm and Dig. So this is going to be also a really good game. You know, Violet Roses did a lot of work. They won in a BO3 that was kind of spectacular to watch. Close games all around. But today, I think they're going to face a much readier team today with CLG Red. You know, CLG Red, like you mentioned, Christine, is playing in advance. They are playing at a very high level caliber here in NA. So I'd be really surprised to see such as close games as we've seen versus Dig.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with that. Tom, please, after you.
We need a veto. We need a veto.
Don't
I'll let you
kick me off
talk,
this
Potter.
desk,
Don't worry.
Tom.
But we
sorry.
need to put the veto up so that then you can talk about where you think this is going. So take it away. The veto is yours.
The veto, you know, I have a lot of questions still. I think the veto part of it's pretty straightforward. Dust2 and Train should be getting taken out. But as far as the picks go, I'm thinking CLG will lean into that nuke. I know Diane is a beast on that, just because they don't have Train available to them. But as far as Violent Roses picks, maybe a Dust2. Oh, wait, no, Dust2. Yeah, Dust2 should be coming out then.
I'm with you on this. The CLG Red does play Dust2 now, but it's still not a solid map. But oh my God, Dust2. This is gonna be the first time we see an Inferno this week, if I'm not mistaken. I'm excited. I do believe that Violent Roses Inferno is phenomenal, so we'll see how it can match up to CLG Red. Unfortunately, I do think that CLG, I have so much trouble saying my own team name, guys. CLG. Inferno is like they broke the ceiling. I think they can compete with the best teams in the world on Inferno. So fortunately, I think we might see a 2-0 here for the red team.
Wow. Straight off the bat. We haven't even got to predictions, but we've already got a 2-0 thrown out there. Twitch chat, you're allowed to make your own decisions here. I know that Miss Harvey has set this up to say, like, okay, you should be going one way, but there is a hashtag roses as well. So you can go in the other direction. I know I will be going with the roses, of course, just to try and balance out this desk a little bit. But of course, hashtag CLG is also available. And well, we've spoken about them a lot, but we are now going to get into the chat about CLG Red. Definitely one of the teams that, if anything, we're kind of looking for the battle versus exit at this point, right, Potter? We want to see the regions cross over so that we can get the battle of EU versus NA underway again.
Yeah, that would be the dream. The one missing, I almost said pissing. Well, there it goes. I said it. The one missing piece in 2020 is that clash of the Titans, really. I mean, if it's not CLG Red, it's Dignitas, right? So these two teams in NA have been absolutely dominating. And Julie, on your screen there, the newest member on this squad. And she's absolutely proving her worth, man. She's usually a support player. And I believe she entries too, Steph. I know you know a lot more about their gameplay than I do.
Yeah, she's a very versatile player. Unfortunately, when you get picked up, usually you kind of have to fit with what the team dynamic already is. But Yuli is
the dirty jobs.
Yeah, the dirty jobs indeed. But Yuli for me is a gem. She is the future of Counter-Strike in NA. She got picked up with almost no experience, and she's already up there showing the girls that she is here to stay in CLG Red, if not to become one of the most dominant player in the world soon. I said it, guys.
Damn.
And look at Diane's hair. Can we? This is going to be very difficult, but Diane is looking hella cute right now. I have to mention it, Christine. I can't wait to see her IGL today.
Yeah, for sure. AWP should be coming out as well, and the nuke pick coming out strong. That's Diane's. That's her home map. That's her home turf. She's going to be coming out, and you can see her laughing right now. She's got the best laugh in esports, I think. I don't know that many people would argue against that.
Indeed.
I don't know I can. Something I wanted to ask is that it seems like CLG Red in particular are very good at sort of bringing in like these younger players. So you've mentioned Yuli already as one of them. Someone I've always like focused on with this team is Emmy. Just like in terms of raw individual skill seems to be right at the top. Is there going to be anyone on the other side who is actually able to compete with those two younger players?
Well, we've seen a lot of great things from Andrea in the last couple of games, and I do believe that she is potentially a newcomer as well. She did so great versus Dignitas, and I love to see her Deagles. I think she can bring back a whole game just with her Deagles. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Violent Roses reacts to CLG Red's potential early on aggression. But yeah, Andrea is definitely my player to watch on Violent Rose side.
Well, that's the thing we're going on to next, Potter, is to take a look at Violent Rose. I think they're a team that have definitely surprised already this tournament by kicking things off with a victory over Dignitas. And I know that they actually played versus Miss Harvey as well in the qualifier, so we've got probably more information than most. But looking at this team as a whole, like, are there any names that you recognize coming into this tournament, or are they like a brand new team that's sort of surprised out of nowhere?
I mean, I got to hop right on board of Steph's point. I mean, we've seen these shining lights in each team, right? We have Wiki for Arcane Wave. We have Jammy over on Pride. And we have Andrea here coming out for Violent Roses. And Andrea has absolutely popped off and turned heads. You can see that she's an exceptional player for this Violent Roses side. But unfortunately for these ladies, she cannot be the only one. So I'm looking straight at Senna, and I'm looking at money management coming out of these ladies. Senna, her AWP, as soon as it came out, is when they started swinging back and having a sharp bite. And that's when they postured and actually came back and beat Dignitas in that series. So definitely this time around, Senna's AWP, it should be a key piece to help out Andrea with the heavy lifting.
Well, Miss Harvey, obviously you played against them, so I sort of wanted to ask, like, in the qualifier, was there anything that your team in particular noticed as like a weakness of this team, something they might struggle with, especially versus a Titan like CLG Red?
Well, you know, every team has its weaknesses, especially when it's more puggy. But one thing that I really appreciated from Violent Roses is they barely, if not ever, gave up or lost confidence. Even if we were coming back or we had a good early game, they had no fear, which is the word of the day for me today. They had absolutely they didn't feel any pressure, and they just wanted to bring it and show the world. And I think that's a lot to say with the experience, like you mentioned, Christine, with Senna, but also Kyler. Like, we might not be talking as much about Kyler as the other player, but she was on Dig before. She has been to international tournaments, and her experience is quite often coming in very handy for Violet Roses.
So in terms of the maps, like we've already seen what will be coming up, like where do you see the chances for the Violent Roses, Potter? Because you will know more likely what CLG Red are likely to feel comfortable on. We know that going into this, they've made a pick of Nuke, which it seems to be a big focal point at the moment within the women's team. Every single series we've been looking at seems to pick it, other than maybe some on the first day. So where do you see their opportunities? Because that's the way I think we have to look at this is, okay, CLG Red are the Titan. They're the ones on top of the hill. Where can they poke holes within this squad?
It has to be on this Inferno. Unfortunately, even though Violent Roses won that series versus Dignitas yesterday, they lost on Nuke, and actually pretty handedly as well. So CLG Red, I mean, come on, let's be real. It's definitely going to be an improvement on this Nuke coming in. So I think Violent Roses, they've got to swing on Inferno, swing hard, hold on to some energy, potentially upset Nuke. But I'm thinking if it even gets to a third, that's where they have to make their stand.
Do you still feel the
really
same
difficult.
sentiments?
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult because if I'm not mistaken, CLG Red is going to start on the CT side because it was Violent Rose's pick. And I will tell you right here, right now, I feel that it's going to be so hard for Violent Roses to take control of that ramp and underpass. I do believe CLG Red is going to bully them. And if they can't fight back and show and give, I want to say, some sign of life against CLG Red at the very early of the beginning of the rounds, we might see a one-sided affair here.
Potter, like when you were in your playing career, I felt like you were the sort of player where if a team was sort of under your foot, you would press down, like you would get aggressive, you would almost start disrespecting them a little bit. I've heard that from a fair few people at least. Is that still very much a CLG Red mentality? If their opponent doesn't get off to a good start, are they just going to look to crush them into the ground?
Oh, absolutely. And as it should be, right? Because when I say, as on the desk, stamina, 3 maps, as a competitor, you want to get in your opponent's face and get in their head, get into the mental game early on. So for Violent Roses, I mean, they also have a lot of advantages as well. I mean, we have to think that they're a pug. The pressure is not on their shoulders. We're hyping up CLG Red up to a huge pedestal right now. So the expectations are raised. There's none on the ladies of Violent Roses. So they can get in here, get loose. And, you know, I mean, Andrea, she's certainly shown that she has the skill. So I'm mainly focusing on Ash, I think. You know, Ash, she's shown that the pressure can get to her in a lot of these certain duels and a lot of high pressure scenarios. So especially for her, you know, there's really no expectations. So come in there, get loose, and pop some heads.
So you've complimented their individual skill, their overall as a team, even the hair of CLG Red. The question I have now, where are you ladies going to be predicting? Like, I'm really stumped for this one. Like, I'm sort of sat here questioning, what direction are Miss Harvey and Potter going to be going? So we'll start with you, Miss Harvey. Can you please blow my mind with this prediction?
I mean, it's already up there. With the map picks, I have to give it to CLG Red. I don't think they're going to be able to... I don't think Violet Roses can win on Inferno and Nuke.
Okay, so the map picks changed it for you, I'm sure. Potter, your prediction may already be there, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Which direction are you going, just to confirm?
Gotta go with CLG Red here.
Okay, so it's down to me. This is where the mystery will unveil itself. I'm actually going to go with Violent Roses because I feel like this desk is tilting so far one way that if I go in that direction, it will completely fall over and hit the floor. So I'm going to go with the Violent Roses, and we'll see if they can pull off a second incredible upset. They've done it once before. They've taken down a Titan of Dignitas. They have another final boss to get themselves through further in the upper bracket. We will see if they're going to be able to do it. Twitch chat, you're not quite with me this time, but you know what? I will take that burden on my shoulders, and I'm hoping that the Violent Roses have another surprise for us. Either way, we have got another fantastic commentary duo, and I know that Pansy loves it when I like put the names together. So we're going to be going off, and after this break, you're going to be joined by the magnificent Play.
We will stand our ground. We will stand our ground.
Whew, not much of a break. Right back into things. And we have quite the matchup on our hands. Now, Violent Roses coming into this caught some people off guard. They certainly proved to have to fight against the bigger teams, Blair. Now, they're facing off against CLG Red, though. Your initial thoughts on this matchup? Talk me through it.
I have to agree with the panel. It was a bit biased, like a teensy bit a little
Really?
biased over there. But yeah, I guess you might want to have to go with CLG Red here. They are the empresses, I might even say, of North American Counter-Strike, right? And yeah, Violent Roses, great performance. They got that win earlier, like a couple of days back against Dig. But it is a Dig who are right now, they're playing two games professionally, Lauren. They're playing CSGO and Valorant at the same time. It was a messy performance, I won't lie. Great kudos to them for getting the win, but I don't know. Against CLG Red, I got to side with the side of CLG.
Okay, and the one thing that the desk highlighted as well is the fact that they've hyped CLG Red up, and for quite a good reason normally. A little bit laggy here for me. Hopefully this gets resolved. It's certainly not in sync at the moment. But overall, I can't see it quite at the moment, but I would love to kind of highlight the fact that I want to see big things from CLG Red. And so far, from what I can tell, the kill feed's only updating now, is that Emmy provided a couple of big things, 3 big kills, but it's leaving it down to Jennifer to try and play it back in a 1v2.
Yeah, Jennifer, I mean, coming in quite handy. It was a 5v3 if I'm not mistaken. Bomb down, a lot of time to work with, but from the sound cues, I do make out that Senna is gonna take her down. Nothing Jennifer could do there, and this was, I do believe, the pick from Violent Roses, so off to a pretty good start. They need every single round they can get.
Yeah, and the thing we wanted to highlight, and something that I want to really lean into, is that if we're setting the bar incredibly high with CLG Red, I want to see incredibly good fundamentals, really good protocols, everything along these lines. And I don't want it just in this matchup, technically. I want this to apply beyond that. This has to kind of exceed expectations in that regard. Die trying to make a little bit of something happen down middle. Things are out of sync for me. Hopefully it's not too bad for you guys at home. Kyla there just winning out for that aggression that was trying to be implemented down Banana. Not going to fall for that. Nice little start. And look at those Mac 10s. Full Mac 10 purchase here.
Yeah, we saw this. I think I saw this when he played against Dignitas as well, and it did catch him by surprise. You know, you do kind of handicap yourself when you go for this buy. Yeah, sure, you make quite a bit of money, but when it comes to round number 3, when you're going to be facing off against the potential rifles, it could be problematic. But yeah, you know what? It's going to be a full eco anyway. If they... Oh, nice shot from Diane. That was sick. Another kill coming in. Rune's going to get taken down, and all of a sudden... This is actually looking pretty interesting. 3 this player still alive. Now, the scout in Diane's hands, she hasn't taken any damage. Another attack coming in through the smoke. And Yuli, with the deagle, she could be deadly here.
Could be. We've that's the new player to my eyes as well. Haven't seen her in the roster. The last time I probably cast CLG Red, it was when Emmy was one of the newer additions. Diane looking like she's straight up wall hacking, but I promise you she isn't. All right, that was just, standard take of things. But for the Violent Roses, there's a perfect start. 3 still alive. They didn't invest into the rifles, which is fine by me. I don't mind that. They've opted to sit back down on those SMGs and opt to go for quite a pacey piece towards B. It makes perfect sense. I love that. That to me makes absolutely wonders of sense. It looks like things have kind of synced back up for me here, so hopefully that does continue. So again, thank you to DreamHack to stay on top of those things. Appreciate you guys. But again, for CLG Red, this is more about going through the protocols in my mind. And, you can lose pistols, you can lose rounds. I don't expect them to be flawless. I expect them to show very good diligence and those fundamentals. Taking banana control, taking either apartments control, one of the two. It's kind of the checkpoints of this map. Now, economy-wise, this should be an eco, and it is a couple of upgraded pistols, but that's all you're going to see. They want to sit anywhere below 2k, so a very reserved investment. And a re-up towards those Mac 10s as well. So far, this should be free farm for the Violent Roses. They should be getting some big bank out of this.
Oh, absolutely. And we have an AK coming out already in the hands of Kyla. For me personally, the player to watch out is going to be Andrea. She was absolutely spectacular in the win they had over Dig. She was by far the best player in the server, I might even say. And Senna as well, with the AWP quite handy. All the T-side Inferno, I don't necessarily expect to see it coming out. It is an optional weapon, depends on how you want to approach a T-side, right? But yeah, this round in particularly should be just Farm City. Like I mentioned for Violent Roses, just make the economy healthy. They did lose a couple of players earlier, so they want to ensure that they are in no danger of maybe getting reset if they lose a couple of rounds. For CLG Red, they've gone for a stack. Like, I can appreciate this. This is something which, even all different levels of Counter-Strike, you see players going for the buy, rather having the pistols, and not really going for a stack. But the stack's going to work on out, and it's only one player remaining. It's Rune, and the P250 catches her. Oh, it's all gone wrong. It's all gone so wrong, and Jennifer. A few extra bullets just to dig it in, just to like go in deep. That hurt. That really hurt if you're Violent Roses fan.
Yeah, that's a little rough around the edges, but we've already seen that, a couple of these players are very on with their pistol today, and this stack just worked out so well. They fell for a hook, line, and sinker, and I guess it's kind of part of the knock-on effect of if you're going to try and work with those kind of MAC 10s and you don't do a very kind of regimented piece towards A with, heavy execution style, you're going to start struggling. Now, this is a very brute force commitment if they actually stick this landing. This is, roll it back, Fnatic back in the day, straight up middle, a couple of flashes, no bells and whistles. It is pretty rough around the edges, but it's got them territory. Now, Diane needs to be very careful, but it's Emmy on the other side. That was sick work from Emmy, but the flash to set it into place was even better. Goose Breeder there to deny the end of it. Gorgeous play. Even after losing that top mid control, Emmy sitting deep towards Arch, just greeting them with a smile. This girl's a killer. Straight up 3 big kills, keeps control, and that flash set in motion was fantastic.
Yeah, she's someone I guess everyone's going to be keeping an eye on. Some people even say the sharpest player in the server. And I kind of like the idea coming in from Violent Roses there. They went in for the fast play towards mid. But then, like you mentioned, those counter flashes coming out from CLG Red, a counter utility, just keeping them at bay. And I wasn't necessarily a big fan of all 5 players clustered together. They had no information. And especially with the buy they had, like you mentioned, they went for a very big investment there. Maybe that wasn't a play. And they do indeed get punished for it. Kyla does get a kill, but a quick trade does take place. Jennifer avenging her teammate, and she's going to toss away the AK. Smart play from her.
Really nice. This was something that I was looking for in the other game, just policing over those weapons, making sure that they're not there to be picked up and fall through, because we saw the danger of what can happen if one rifle falls away from you. This is a lot of pressure on Jennifer as well. Her posted up just towards Banana on her own. Does she have much utility? No. So that smoke that's just dissipated was the last bit of time being bought. But luckily for her, they're not actually tempted to go this way. It looks like they're, for now at least, heading back towards the top of the middle. We have Emmy, Julie, and then Diane sitting quite passive towards Library. And I like this late utility usage, not cycling through that too quickly. Diane's going to get a lot of work coming her way. That's one. Not going to get the second. Doesn't need to overpeak now. Lovely Molotov as well, buying time, but this will funnel the rest through towards CT Arch, and she could be pressured down here. Needs to be a little careful. Senna gives her a helping hand, but it is Senna still alive with the AWP to hand.
One thing I've learned about Senna is the AWP in her hand is scary. It can get very, very scary indeed. And I say that and she tosses it away. You know what? I can work with that. Make it expensive. Your chances of winning this is pretty slim. She doesn't have any Kevlar either to work with.
I think I just heard that fall down again.
You can? Did it?
Yeah, I think it fell off the roof.
Oh, that's rough. It's kind of a little laggy for me. I didn't really notice that. But if she can get a bomb plan out of this, it could be big. But I don't think that's going to happen. There we go.
Yeah, very well played. I'm liking what CLG Red are doing. They're keeping 3 alive, but it's the patience, it's the using utility at the correct times. They're not, but like the amount of times we've already seen, let's say even in Europe in the game just gone, getting to the minute 30 marker and people are down to their last pieces of utility. This is a very regimented side from CLG Red, and it looks like they've got a good grip at least on that utility usage. I like that. Now for Violent Roses, they haven't looked out of sorts, but they've looked like they're depending on this aggression, and it can work. We saw that run up on Banana, worked out well. We saw this kind of like fast piece towards middle. Now the sad fact for them is they lost out to Emmy with like a great flash and some really good aim by the side of her, but they're showing some real diligence. This scoreline is not one-sided at all.
Yeah, and especially if it's a map pick coming in, and the second map is going to be, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be a nuke where They seem a little lost on Nuka. The T side, it fell apart. Dig had a very easy time taking that map. So for Violent Roses to potentially pull off an upset here, this Inferno win is a necessity. It's an absolute requirement. And yeah, 3-2. Like I mentioned, it's still early days. They have a bye here. It's still no one's map yet. But Diane with the AWP, she could be a problem. She's been quite mobile so far. With the AWP, we saw towards Library earlier, now switching over towards Banana, where she is going to be playing alone, taking a bit of damage from the flames as it does spread. It's all about the timing, as... Don't know what happened there. I do believe she got the kill. No, she did. It was a little bit of a whiff. But that's okay. She survived, and she's going to fall on back.
Yeah, and again, they were leaving a lot of faith in that early rotation potential. They like to post up potentially either Jennifer. I think Goose Breeder even leant over towards A earlier on. So for now, it's a lot of kind of faith on whoever's soloing B. Now, they've left Diane pretty aggressive, or she's chosen to be quite aggressive on this angle. Not necessarily a one and done, but it can be scary. T-side are low on utility, so maybe just reading into the fact they probably don't have as many flashes as they'd like to take that top banana control. There goes one. There's a swing. And Diane doesn't land the shot, but information aplenty. Next angle now applied. Sadly, I can't see right now. There it is, just catching up. Again, apologies, just hard to keep on board with this. Diane now, smoke to hand. And look at this. 40 seconds or so. Smoke goes down. This is really important. This is really, really valuable to be able to keep this utility this late, because by the time this dissipates, they're going to have 15 seconds to go on a site hit.
15 seconds, cutting it pretty close indeed. And they do have the utility. The problem is, how are they going to manage to get through this crossfire? Goose Breeder going to be rotating in. They still think it could potentially be B, so they still have only 2 players over there. And it's going to be Yuli side off the smoke, but Emmy holding the line from Moto finds a couple. They need to delay the plant, and Goose Breeder is aware of how much time is remaining. 7 seconds. They're going to be able to get the bomb down. Now the 3v3, the post line coming in. Not much utility for the CDs to work with here, Pansy. Could get a little tricky.
Yeah, it could be. Retaking with an AWP as well, going to make it a little bit trickier. Andrea's still alive as well. Andrea's been an impactful player for the Violent Roses, and tucked down towards Graveyard, biding time. Diane being gifted nothing, and it's the slow build from Goose Breeder here. Goose Breeder's going to get the first port of call of contact and doesn't get it. Andrea on the other side keeping her head tucked down, not giving away anything. This retake, it's not really going to come through. There's too little time left. There is no way that these trades won't be effective from the T's. Yeah, do as much damage as you want. That was a great post-plant hold. Very patient, very tucked in. Absolutely love that.
And I gotta say, I feel like they did a very good job. Just kind of, not really selling a fake, so to speak, but they were in the heads of CLG right there. They had a 3 plays over there. Goose Breeder coming on in. And the pit player not able to get anything done. Great double kill coming in from Emmy, but that's the best she could do. And like you mentioned, great usage of whatever limited utility they had on the post plant. Great crossfires, and it got a little close. I won't lie, it got a little scary there for Violent Roses, but they win it out. And it's an important round as well. They managed to break the economy, and for CLG, not really fully break it, but forcing them to just go with the Deagles. A little bit of Kevlar purchase as well, and some limited utility. And this is where I would love CLG Red in rounds like this to kind of go for some of these gamble stacks or like aggression together. Or that works. Emmy gets the kill right there. Because bear in mind, they did win a round just with the pistols on the B bomb side, having a 4-player stack.
Yeah, and Goose here. Trying to make something of it. The flash slightly off timing there, sadly. Sent in, I believe that was from Jennifer over by Coffins. And again, nice little ideas. I don't mind these small little pieces, these small little plays that the CTs are trying to do, but this take so far is pretty diligent. You can see the Molotovs coming in for the Ts, but they haven't fully committed. They've kind of pushed up Kyla, and that's going to allow Emmy to instantly do damage. And by the way, Emmy's having a series already. Emmy is getting off to a very confident start. Now, it looks like A will be the eventual goal for the Violent Roses, which does mean there'll be a chance to at least get some presence towards CT Arch. But beyond that, the site's under control. Look at those smokes up already, the molly in toward pit. They're being very meticulous on this take.
They are, and the thing for CLG Red are they have money anyway. There's an AK-47 in the hands of Emmy. They might as well just go for this, right? They have a smoke, 3 flashbangs, no kits though, and even if they lose a round, if they can take away the rifles from Violent Roses, make it hurt a little bit when it comes to the economy, that's pretty much mission accomplished. And a hit is going to be coming on in, but great counter flashes from the T's, and it's going to be Andrea shutting it down. 2 quick kills for her, looking for more, tucked into the corner. It is 2v2. This could get messy. She's been taken down. It's all on Senna. It's a 1v2, and just the knife's going to come out. They're going to go for the knife in the face, the disrespect, and I do believe they have the time for the defuse as well. I can't believe we witnessed that. That is just... That's just a display of power, just a vulgar display of power coming out from CLG Red.
Big Daddy Diane, look at her.
Oh.
The daddy on the screen, knife out. Just flying in there. 280 R for Emmy as well. This is a big performance. Emmy going for the kind of like 2 to the body shot there, which is perfectly reasonable. And then just showing this flare. I'm glad that Miss Harvey brought up the, the power of this player's deagle. And again, just Daddy Diane in the server. I mean, what are you going to do about it? You just got to kind of accept this. Tech9's out, though, for the Violent Roses. It looks like that kind of playthrough app's potential. So let's see what Julie can do here. I'm kind of curious. This is a newer name to the addition for me. Looks like they're going to bounce through that Molotov. Doesn't opt to fall away. Decides to try and stick it out and catching a lot of damage and losing life for this. Again, great approach from the Violent Roses. And Emmy, a little out on her own there. Maybe mistaken. They could have been on the site already. So opening up opportunity. There should be a plant soon.
It should be, and Stella, she's gonna get the kill. Goose doesn't clear the hard angle, doesn't hard check it, and well, you lose with the pistols, you win with the pistols. It's kind of like the tail of Counter-Strike. That's gotta suck. That's gotta suck for CLG Red. But at the same time, I gotta give credit to Violent Roses for being so aggressive there. They didn't waste any time. They had a plan in place. And Yuli, unfortunately, towards the balcony, not able to get anything done. It just burst on out. I feel she was kind of blinded as well, and too many opponents to really find. But that's a huge round already. And 8 rounds in, it's just back and forth, Lauren. It's just back and forth. It doesn't seem like we have a clear, I wouldn't say victor, but more like a clear favorite yet on this map. It can go either way. And the scores are tied. They've salvaged 3 rifles as well from that just the pistol round. So this is looking very good economy-wise for the T side.
Yeah, Julie, they're caught kind of in no man's land. Uncomfortable scenario to be in, very hard to deal with it. Now, looking at the money as well for CLG Red, it's hit that point where they're going to have to spread the wealth a bit. Luckily, Emmy was absolutely flush for cash. Diane as well, going to just kind of help out the rest of the team. But for the T's, they've now got a nice little kind of boost here. They get that little bit of a start back up. So not too bad at all for them. They can kind of get things going. That Molly, Kyler, you got to put that one out. You cannot just weather the storm. The spread got him, but very, I don't say aggressive, but attentive play between Goosebreeder and Jen over towards the top of Banana. Deep smokes going in. This is what I wanted to see. Map control. Take the map control. Maybe post up Goose and let Jen then sit over towards A. I like that. Now, of course, they could always re-aggress, but you could see the aggression from the Violent Roses. They love that top mid play. This could be a good answer.
This could be, but Diane, she needs to hit a shot. It's kind of alone, and she's gonna actually land a collateral. Turns around the 360, the double kill coming in. She finally gets traded, but she's done her job here. And now, look at how low 2 of the players are. Senna and Kyla both hemorrhaging, and Yuli's gonna find Kyla, and it's gonna come down to Asher to pull off something truly magical.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those dig deep performances. Ash not going to make it happen, and I loved the knock-on effect of having that deep smoke down towards Banana, allowing that rotation to come in. I think that certainly helped matters out there, so love to see it. I think that was an incredibly good read, and a great call from, I guess it's Diane at that point.
Yeah, I thought it was a 360 because of a little bit of lag we had on the feed, but wasn't as flashy, but still, great work from Diane there. She had 0 backup as well. Run boost. Goes to the pre-fire, doesn't really find anything. Fast play coming in towards B, and Goosebreeder, she's got to go big. She's going to find just the one. Kyla with the Tech9, clotheslining her. And Jennifer, she's by her lonesome. She's got to go for the contact play. I think they have an inkling where she is. She's going to come just barreling around the corner, able to find just the one. The tap's not quite landing. Guns will be picked up. Bomb will be planted. It's going to be 3v3. CLG Red on the retake.
Yeah, tags coming through. Diane being a nuisance, but Rune's going to dig her heels in. Diane can spam away, but that Molotov will be the kicker. Keep in mind, Julie's got one as well. They have a lot of late game utility, which I like. And look at the damage they're sustaining. This Quayside is being roasted alive. Great retake. The floor was lava and there was nowhere to stand, no way to avoid it. Good retake, but again, Violent Roses getting plants, taking site control. They are not looking like the weaker side here. They are looking very diligent in their approach, be it a bit of a blunt tool at times. It feels like, they are, but they're still opening the can nonetheless. They are able to get into these sites. They're able to get that bomb down. They're able to do the damage.
It's good to see how Violent Roses aren't really being intimidated by some of the names they're facing in the server, right? Like, even if they lose a round, they're able to just bounce back. We saw that A hit earlier just with the pistols. They managed to pull it off. This was a faster hit towards B. Getting the bomb down, dealing a bit of damage. They're going to be kind of happy with that. 3 kills as well. And now, they're going to be slowing things down a bit. 5 AK-47s, opting not to have an AWP on his T side. I do believe they had enough money to purchase an Office Senna earlier, which they haven't gone for. Even this round, she still has $2,000 in the bank. So more for just a rifles-based approach. As Andrea, the star of the team, just already fallen. Emmy, like you said, she's just winning every single duel. She's everywhere.
And I love seeing this improvement of Emmy. The last time I got to see her was, I've seen her in various stages at this point. When the first time she came around to the scene, you could see the nerves. You could see the need to frag out early to then benefit. Now, bear in mind, she has fragged out early and the confidence is maintained high. But seeing her now, so much confidence now, looking so diligent in the way she's approaching it. However, I like this hold. Goose Breeder going to be sitting kind of to deny the headshot and also be perfectly fine for the hit. Keeps you safe. Jen could be in an awkward position, but no, the Molotov will land perfectly fine. And should buy a bit of time, forcing out a little bit of utility early. Ash, though, quickly taking down Goose. That's good from Jen, though. Needs another. Gets another. Oh, Jen, that is sick work coming back through. And that's bought so much time for the rotation. Senna's burning alive. 1 HP is all that's left.
Oh, it just all went wrong, but beautiful work from Jennifer there. And Senna, like you said, 1 HP in the Dream, bomb drop, no man's land, and there's nothing she can do. Just hold on to the AK-47. She still has $2,000 in the bank, so if they do want to go for a force buy, there is a possibility she could maybe drop a Galil for her teammates, purchase a little bit of utility. But what a hold from Jennifer. I'm a little surprised about the third player in Hobbit. I'm not sure if she was blinded, but she should have got a trade there on Jennifer, but take nothing away. That was some sick stuff. Couple of AKs as well. The AK upgrades coming in for the CD side and CLG Red. It was a bit back and forth, Lauren, but looks like they are starting to kind of get back into the lead here.
Look at this. That second and the third. Oof. Real nice. Real nice. I like that. Do have Senna, of course, maintaining that rifle across. The rest Tech 9s. Now, the kind of ferocious hits have worked out quite well. The speedier play has not been too terrible. You can see the spam coming through from Senna, maybe to try and meet any of that Apps aggression. Julie did get overwhelmed here, so I'd like to see if Julie maybe can find a better approach this time, seeming to instantly sit almost anti-flash with Emmy in towards Pit. So there's the adjustment already. Maybe a good read on the economy. Again, great calling from, I imagine it's Diane at this point, to be very aware of the purchase coming back in and tendencies that have already been shown. So Emmy, Molly goes in, should buy a little bit of time. Actually forces the utility out. They're going to go on this. Here we go. Emmy just sprays him wildly. But keep in mind, Julie is still here. She's the ace up the sleeve. And this time, it's such a better look.
Oh, absolutely. Senna left alone. The AK-47 from the previous round. 1v5, I don't really fancy your chances here. They know exactly where she is. Yuli's going to finish her off. And like you mentioned, I feel like that was a perfect read coming in from Diane. She knew the money was going to be low. She knew they won a round going for that balcony hit. The repositioning from Emmy, she was holding towards Moto earlier in the round they lost. And Diane this time around was floating towards the ban. Emmy's just having a ball. She's laughing. She's enjoying herself, which is a good sign if you're a CLG Red fan, and not a good sign if you're Violent Roses.
Yeah, it's going to get a little rough. Violent Roses, you can see the pace switch now coming in. It looks like confidence is starting to peak, and Diane working very well off the back of that flash to find Senna. And again, this is what I like. I like seeing those fundamentals being played with here, kind of that utility exchange. To be fair, CLG Red haven't been committing that much utility down Banana. They've been kind of banking on Diane being here every now and then. We saw Goose pushing up before with Jen. I like the different looks we're seeing, but it could open up those opportunities for these rifles just to run through them.
Yeah, let's see if this regression is going to work out. They're going to be going for the top Banana control smoke, but it is a bit deep, so Kyla might be fancying her chances of going for this dual flash. Is going to pop Diane, trying to get the timing right, but she's got a teammate, Goose Breeder, with the Molotov to prevent them from potentially catching the captain off guard. I gotta say, I love how Diane is being such a mobile opera on this map. She's everywhere. You can't really... You know, you just can't really get a read on her. She's towards Banana most of the times, and then she'll immediately head towards A, or sometimes she just might be sticking towards B all along. Kyla trying to sell a fake over here at B, and that's actually going to draw out Jennifer, but she's going to fall on back. She realizes the captain's calling it out. She's like, they haven't pushed in yet. They have the smokes, but they haven't made a play yet. Hold on to the A bomb side. It's going to be the hit coming on in, and they're still going to be walking in towards 3 CTs lying in wait.
Yeah, Emmy's the one that, again, will get kind of not necessarily fed the kill, but in the perfect position for it. Gets to re-peek off the back of the flash. Couldn't quite land the shot, so Rune gets to move ahead. 6 shot from Rune. Yuli there a little slow to capitalize on this, but Jennifer just playing so patient, waiting as long as she could. But it's going to put Goose in a 1v2 regardless. Bomb should be planted, and it can be planted safe. No one can deny that. Kyla should be watching this as well in good support. And this is going to be tough for Goose to play into. High flash to come in, gives her a step, but there's that Molotov. Instant reply. And Goose wants a 1v1, but I don't think she's going to get it. The second she fights Ash, that swing from Kyla should be there. And Goose creeping further forward. Can she isolate a 1v1 here? Tries to clear bomb. Gets one. Oh my god, she turns on a dime. This would be a huge mistake, Kyla. This should never have gone this far. How has Goose Breeder gone into this point? Sees the barrel. Surely sees the barrel. Called out. Goose gets it. A 1v2. Violent Roses will be kicking themselves for that one. The crossfire just did not hold. The trade never came in, and CLG Red. I cannot take you seriously, Goose. What the hell?
This was played actually so well. Ash just peering out, trying to find information, but that was a moment for Kyla to just swing out wide, immediately go for the trade. But kudos to Goose. It was almost like she had to spin almost 180 to get that shot. And yeah, great clutch coming out, but yes, like you mentioned, these are the rounds you can't afford to lose, especially when you are facing off against CLG Red, and it's going to be Diane. The run boost this time around, it does work out. They're going to come charging straight in towards Archway. Oh, another shot through the smoke, and they're not going to check the corner, and Emmy's going to have no trouble finding a double, and Senna once more left alone, again, in a 1v5.
And look at the map. Got Goose down the bottom mid. You've got Jen towards CT Arch. Jen, you don't need to do that, do you? Now you can. Getting a little angsty there, but you can see the control. You can see the result. Jennifer. Oh,
I love it.
Shooting body. Look at that sweet face. Murderous. Murderous intent. 10-4.
Can't really judge a book by its cover or something.
Dude, I don't know. I've
like
met
that.
Jen. She's terrifying. Terrifying.
Oh, they're scary on LAN. I remember seeing them last year in Showdown, right? Like, you were there as well. Like, they were very loud. I was a bit terrified. But Emmy, she's terrifying them as well. Pushing down Banana. The first time we're seeing the aggression down mid from CLG Red in the final round of the first half. They're not going to be expecting this, and it's a slaughter, an absolute slaughter. Emmy with the triple. She's just farming kills at this point, and that is going to be the end of the half. What a brutalization in the latter half of that particular half. But we're going to be finding out if Violent Roses can somehow mount a comeback after a quick break.
We will stand our ground. Gonna show you what a wall I can do. Ooh. 'Cause I got passion, let me shine it on you. Ooh. Don't tease me. the front, so I'll drive now. I'm just undisciplined. 'Cause I want your loving ever since we met. I said I'm gonna give you something that you never forget. You better take cover, 'cause I'm coming for you. From the highway, I'm a love wire. I'm gonna show you what a woman can do. Cause I got passion, let me shine it on you. We will stand our ground.
Oh my, Blair. It started out looking quite like a series we had on our hands. Great pistols coming in, explosive rounds from the Violent Roses. And then Emmy decided to get 22 kills in one half.
Yeah, Violent Roses. They need to get the guns out. You know, channel a little bit of Guns N' Roses. You know, just
I like
try
that.
and make it work. But Emmy's like, yeah, welcome to the jungle, and
What's
they're just getting
Emmy's
completely wrecked.
ADR like right now? What?
I think it's just an unreasonable number at this point. Jesus Christ!
Let's go,
It's been
Emmy.
15 rounds.
Let's go. Straight up insane stuff. And she's leading the way towards this B side. Let's see how it goes for her, though. 158 ADR, 22 kills on one half. I think she saw Kyler's leg at the very least. So expecting the player on the corner. Trying to stay close to the wall. Spots one towards Emo. Definitely getting good information, but it's the player towards New Box player that could be a surprise. But again, more information. She's seen it all.
Oh, she's so aware, isn't she? But Kyla, actually Senna, she can get a kill here, but she's just spamming away bullets, runs out of bullets, and you're gonna take her down, Goose Speeder, at least mercifully. A knife's not gonna be going away. But now Andrea, 1v2, she's had a very quiet half compared to her performance against Dignitas, and Diane's there to deal the final blow. Nice kit coming in from CLG Red there. They, look at, she's just sucking on a lollipop and just
She
chilling.
doesn't seem real, dude. How it like okay,
It's like an
here's the
anime
thing.
character.
Literally. Like, here's the thing. I'd be so mad if I lost to Emmy. Because one, she looks so cool. She sat there having fun. Like, she looks too good to be doing this right now. It's just like, what are you doing? You're having fun? Just beating us down? No. 23 kills.
Oh,
Back into the game, though. It's Violent Rose's turn to try and do some damage. Deagle's armor, they've got what they can. It is going to be a hard round to turn, though.
It is indeed. They have managed to do it, though. Yeah, they have managed to convert one of those Tech 9 Deagle rounds earlier. And we have seen pistols, Glocks in fact, win a few rounds, Pansy. I'm sure you
Yes?
relish being reminded of that.
But-
Maybe you could see something like that again here.
No. Because
Okay.
if teams do the right thing, Blair, they don't lose to pistols. Or they should.
They shouldn't.
They should. Now, these pistols are a little bit scarier. They got some head armor, they got some utility, they got some bang for the buck, so a little bit more danger. But even then, you hit those protocols, you trade effectively. I don't see these issues happening.
Well, Senna, she's gonna find one. Gets things down to 16. Heads on back, close headshot angle with the 5.7s could be problematic. And CLG Red are going to slow it down. Andrea finds another kill. Suddenly, these pistols, we said it could be problematic, and it is indeed being a problem. Suddenly, this is looking weird. They're going to be walking straight into Emmy, and Emmy just mowing them down. What are they doing?
I mean, Emmy's the final boss, dude. What are you meant to do? She just sat in the smoke like, don't worry, I got it. I got it. You can make the casters nervous. I'm still here. It's fine. Bomb to be planted. And now Kyler. I like the intent from the Violent Roses as well. I actually want to highlight that I liked what they did this round. I know it didn't work out and what have you, and the mistake made towards that smoke can happen. But the way they found Diane and Yuli was actually very impressive. It was a very good approach from them to do so. But now it's put Kyler in a scenario. Hopping around on the side doesn't matter. Emmy's still there, the absolute raid boss of this.
She's kind of like that anime where you're watching it, and then like you have the protagonist coming in, and there's this like cute little schoolgirl sort of thing. She comes on in, and you're like, oh, what's she gonna do? And a bad guy, this massive boss comes up, and she takes out this humongous like hammer and just like smacks him down into the ground. kind of channeling that particular energy, which is scary because this is just map 1. And honestly, I can't wait to see them hopefully face off against Dignitas maybe later on in the tournament. I just want to see her just pop off again.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, the progress of this young player is exceptional to see. From first joining, you know, the nerves, taking it, you know, very personally when you're a young player. You know, it's easy to be emotional and get down on yourself, but you can see now the benefit of when it goes right for young players, how they can just bounce into this. It's that boomer to zoomer ratio, you know what I mean? You got to get it right. And right now they've got a pretty decent balance. Sadly for the Violent Roses, speaking of their balance, it is low, sitting just around the 2K marker, 2.4, kind of the max end of things for Ash. Andrea, a couple of moments who stand out, but haven't seen that same spark yet. But obviously they've been struggling to get the purchase building. Jen going to punish any aggression to start off with down banana. So again, good little default to start with. Catch-all. No one's getting free information here.
They aren't. And for Violent Roses, let's be real, this round, converting it is going to require a bit of a miracle. They do have the Deegan hands of Andrea, and she's been completely neutered by CLG Red this half. She was fantastic when I casted her against Dignitas, but they're doing a great job. The problem here with Violent Roses, again, reminding everyone, is their map pick, number 1, and number 2. After this round, there's no margin for error. They're going to come charging in. Everyone's blind. Everyone was blind, but Diane recovers earlier, and they do take a lot of damage, Pansy, but it just wasn't good enough. And Ash, 1v5, USP, a couple of players low, but I don't really fancy your chances.
No, I think she knows that that's the scenario, sadly. It's a horrible spot to be in. But I want to also highlight, as much as Potter did try and lie on the desk and say that, you know, they try to always, you know, play to their skill level is what I kind of took from it back with her on the team. Nah. CLG Red, look, I am biased deep down. Nice little exit from Ash. If she gets any more, that'd be wonderful. But the knife's already out for Diane. I don't like that. Diane, don't be nasty.
She's waiting.
Oh.
Oh.
It's not nice.
Small mercies.
But as I said, CLG Red, I think, honestly, and I know this may sound a little harsh, they used to win their games back in the day, but it wasn't clean. You never saw them. I feel personally, as a caster, when you looked at the players pound for pound, they'd struggle playing to their level. Rather, they'd meet the opponents somewhere in a middle ground, and you'd have a close game, but they'd win out eventually. I'm glad to see a little bit, right now at least, of them playing to their own skill level. They've come into this, and they've not dipped down, they've not relented, they've not come in cold. They are playing to a very high standard, and they're maintaining that. And again, that's no discredit to Potter or anyone else, but it's good to see this evolution of the team. They've kept some of the pillars, they've kept some of the long-standing members, they've kept a lot of the identity of what made CLG Red great, even, you know, back in the day. You know, Steph was in there, you know, I mean, this lineup is historical at this point, but now I feel they can play to a higher skill of their own kind of choosing. They don't dip down, but let's see how that holds up now, up against the full buy. Full buy is a strong word. The buy coming in from the Violent Roses.
As close to a full buy as you can get at this point, right? Connor's got $900, and she just went for the FAMAS. Maybe she was dropped to FAMAS, perhaps. Maybe I missed out on that. Anyway, they do have a few kits, a bit of utility to work with. In CLG Red, they're just heading for this A hit. And oh, Andrea, the timing is atrocious, but they're gonna line up for her. She finds 2 Rune to find Goose Breeder with the trade, and now 2v4. Diane still taking a bit of damage. Bomb dropped, I do believe, towards the mini pit. And this is gonna be a little tricky. This is such an important round to win for Violent Roses as well.
Let's say, have they not seen the bomb? I don't mind. I think they must have noticed it now, because Ash is kind of committed to this angle. And the difference here between Emmy holding this and Ash right now, Ash looks nervous to be holding this one, doesn't want to dare re-peek, and that's fair. You don't want to play into a 2v4, but Diane cracks open an opportunity. Stepping through the map now. The bomb's a problem. They could still do with getting that back, but you can see Ash pinned in. Jen, the timing's atrocious. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That could have happened. You could have seen the opportunity, opting to go for that Molotov instead. Gave away the little angle that she could have worked with. But again, I was surprised the Violent Roses took so long to get towards that CT Arch library position. But once they did, they were locked down. And this, a little unfortunate for Yuli there. Emmy swings out to face towards the car or side. But no one really dealt with the player who could be on Balk or be on the kind of railing there. So there's an opportunity for it. So not sure what the plan was, but clearly it went astray.
It did go a bit alright there, but I like this from CLG Red. They haven't gone for the force buy. They could have. A couple of players had money. 3 of them have a pretty decent amount of money. Instead, they're just gonna go running on in with pistols. It's P250s, Tech 9s, and a Mac 10, and they're just gonna win all the duel, just pushing in through the smoke. Goose, you can't do this. And Andrea and Rune wondering how the hell that B bomb site was lost in a span of 5 seconds. They don't have the money. They just need a save here to try and play for overtime.
I love that Goose just pushed up to the tree then to get so much more room. Her being there is such a problem. Like, technically, look at what they'd have to retake against. Goose has no armor. Yuli, yes, she did get the M4, but Jen didn't have a rifle. Emmy was down to a deagle, as deadly as that may be, we now note. But still, as soon as Goose pushes up to that, map control is garnered. And she did that while they were still fighting at the back of the site to get that new box and Orange's control. So instant faith in the teammate. So I like this. I really like that approach. And you're right. Violent Roses, there's no other option. You have to keep hold of these rifles. You've got to tuck them away. There is no two ways about it. And they need to make something work for themselves. Sadly, it's very hard to tame a team who's confident right now and who's running over you. Again, that utility protocol of keeping people at arm's length, going through all the motions is great. But then, as said, there's so many pop-off players for CLG Red right now. It's very hard to contain this.
Oh, yeah, it is indeed. And right now, for me, it's like, I want to see if Emmy's going to get the 30 bomb with the Mac 10. And she's going to be leading the charge. Running on in. Hopefully, the utility will keep her at bay. No, it won't. She's just going to smoke herself while she's still holding W. Still running on in. Pre-firing around the corner. Gets another one. But finally, mercifully, gets traded to Ash. Desperately trying to stay alive, but it is not to be. The 2 rifles still alive, though, for the side of Violent Roses. So this retake. And this is a must. This is a retake they have to go for. Senna up close. 5-7 could come in handy, but Yuli crouch peeking around the corner. Gonna find her. It's a 4v2.
And these angles, as soon as the intent may have been noted that they want to try and take back Ruins, you saw the support from Diane. CLG Red just played a very good game of Counter-Strike, holding their own and delivering on multiple levels. You've got to say Emmy, straight up just put on a show. The girl on the screen there just looking insane. Diane as well, leading from the front. Jen, just that casual bit of BM, and Goose even loved that play towards the tree when the B hit. Every single one of them had a good moment there. So a very well played first map, a very quick first map. Map 2 is going to be Nuke, but before we get there, we're going to have to take a second, Blair, because this was quick. This was very quick. This was, here's our level, try and catch up to us.
Oh yeah, and it's great to see. This is very similar for me watching XSET, like watching Zaz's team playing in EU, where they played a very, very high level, and everyone else just get dumpstered by them. They play at their level, and this is something, like you mentioned, that we wanted to see from some of these teams at NA. CLG Red, they're here to play. They're here to own. They're here to win this tournament.
Spot on, and it looks good for now. I wonder how smug the desk looks. That's what I want to find out, and we'll find out in a moment's time after this break.
Well, I'm sure there's some smiling faces joining me on the desk in just a moment. Of course, we are back for our Showdown Winter, of course, brought to you by DreamHack. And Potter, you feeling pretty confident in your prediction right now?
Yeah. I mean, these ladies, listen, the first 6 rounds of this game, if you put that and took out the latter half, I mean, it was neck and neck, right? They were very fast-paced. Violent Roses came out swinging from the get-go, that whole W religion coming out strong. But CLG Red, they've got everything in order. The protocol is coming out strong, changing it up constantly towards A, whether it was double up site, double up pit. I can't lie, Julie and Goose, they had a slow start. Goose beat her especially at that top banana, losing out that duel consistently, no trade to be found. Flashbangs coming in late, but either way, man, when you got Emmy just being a raid boss like that, that's what you want out of your star players, to pull you out of those ruts, give you an opportunity to have a dominant performance like this. In the end, CLG Red, full control.
Yeah, I feel like this became almost like a flex from Emmy towards the end. I would compare it to, you know, when you go ice skating and then there's that person that's constantly doing ice skating backwards? Like that was Emmy in this match. Just wanted to make everybody else look bad, like pulls out a lollipop half the way through the match. And I believe, Miss Harvey, that's actually who you're going to be sort of picking out to do a breakdown on in this round.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go back to probably the only close rounds that we've had early on in this game. I'm looking at round number 3. If you remember, CLG Red was on a kind of forced buy here with D goals. And look at this. Violent Roses is going to be on some sort of default, knowing that CLG Red doesn't have a lot of money. And here's what's going to happen. They're going to regroup. And this is where Violent Roses is going to use their utility. Let me move a little bit fast forwards. They're going to use their utility and block off CLG Red's defense with 2 smokes here, smoke here, a molly covering all of this. But Goose Breeder's perfect flash that's gonna bounce here. It's gonna allow CLG to take that fight not to the side as we're used to when it comes to stack, but actually fight all in that vicinity. And Violent Roses is not gonna even be able to get it close to that bomb site. So for me, that was a showing of where CLG Red is and how confident they are with their teamwork at the moment.
Some of these plays were just ridiculous as well, Potter. It seemed like towards the end, it was almost just a formality. But as you sort of mentioned in some of the earlier rounds, like it just looked like Emmy just went, don't worry, girls. This is mine. I'm just going to put everyone on my back. You can just chill for a bit. Like if you need a drink, just you can go off for a walk. Like she was unbelievable in this match.
Yeah, I mean, just simply in this map was outscaled and outmatched. And I mean, even Diane, Lauren called it out, right? She looked like she was wall hacking a lot of the rounds. I mean, her game senses were absolutely just
using your
exploding out of her brain. Yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean, these players, they're absolutely booming right now.
Yeah, a superb performance from them in map number 1. Now they go on to their choice of nuke. It's not looking particularly good for the ladies on the other side, but we will have to see whether or not this will be a turnaround. The Violent Roses looking to try and carry on in the upper bracket, and CLG Red, they want more of the same. Join us after the break for map number 2.